I would say for all the artists that we show here are always people that I like genuinely believe in with like my whole heart. Just the idea of someone like passing you by and that's all you can catch from them and trying to understand who maybe they are as a person. King's Blue, there's like something really magical in it. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I've been super obsessed with. That's kind of why like you see so many of the blue paintings I have right now. And then this is my favorite book in the world. So I do think everything in life is like focused around love, and it's not just like romantic love, it's the love you have for other people, the love you desire for others and you want.
Hi guys, welcome to l8street magazine. Today I'm going to meet with Alexis Estrada. This is Chicago-based artist and founder of Crosswalk Gallery. First we're gonna go to her studio where all the paintings begin. Then we'll move to the gallery to explore the new exhibition. So let's go. Hi!
Hey, welcome!
Thank you, how are you?
I'm doing good, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you for inviting us.
Of course, thanks for coming.
So this is the gallery. This is the first space. I think we're gonna go first to your studio where you can show us your paintings, and then we'll move later to the gallery.
Okay.
So
yeah, sounds good. Come here.
But if I go in
it's a little small, but it's good.
So for how long have you been painting here?
I've been here since last January, so this is actually a newer studio.
I'd like to talk about your artistic path and journey and about your paintings and gallery later. So my first question will be, when did you realize that you want to be an artist?
I'm super lucky. I've always wanted to be an artist my whole life. Like, I think since I was born and like I was able to move and draw and do anything, that's always been like what I've been obsessed with, you know? Like, it's more like not wanting to be an artist, but more like I'm completely obsessed and I have to be it. So yeah, I've just kind of gone down the same path the whole time.
Do you remember your first painting that you did?
I used to draw from those like, you know, like those old books that you had that were like, oh, step 1, you do this, step 2, and then you get like a raccoon at the end or something. I used to do that like obsessively. So I had like books for dinosaurs. I remember drawing a lot of dinosaurs.
Did you go to the art school?
I did, yeah. I went to NIU for my BFA and I got it in drawing, paintings, kind of all together.
It was in Chicago?
No, it was in DeKalb. So it was about 2 hours away from Chicago, but I've always lived in Illinois like my whole life. I moved right before my senior year ended. So in 2023 is when I moved here. I originally moved just like right towards the outskirts of the city, and then I officially moved to my spot here in Chicago like area about 1.5 years ago.
Did you feel that Chicago can influence you as an artist?
I 100% think so, yeah. Like, since I moved to the city, I've noticed that I've been able to like just understand myself better, you know? When you're around like so many different types of people and there's so many opportunities, like I feel like you have no option but to grow and become like a better artist, and you're just more well-rounded, so yeah. I got my studio in January of last year, so it's almost been 1 year of me having my studio here. And really, it's like when you don't have a studio, it's like you don't, like it feels to me like I'm really disconnected from myself. So I need to be in my studio. So since I've had here, I go here as much as I can, and I'm constantly trying to be in my studio as much as possible.
What inspires you about your studio?
I think it's just like having a space where you can be completely like unlimited and you can just focus on yourself. A lot of my art's about like understanding my own like ego and who I am in like my core. So having an area that's just dedicated, that's focused on just understanding yourself, that's why it's like, it's so important to me.
So for someone who's seeing your art for the first time, how you describe it?
So I always like to say it's about false intimacy is like kind of like my keywords, I would say, when I'm describing my art. I'm very interested in how we perceive intimacy and how we view intimacies of others. So definitely all of my pieces that I have are in some way, shape, or form about an intimate moment or the desire to understand something that you may not. I'm like a very obsessed person when it comes to color. I've always been that way. That's also, I think, been why I've like been so sure that I want to do art. I'm a super big fan of colors, if I can show you some of them. Okay. So a few of my favorite colors, I love Old Holland. You can see these guys. Yeah, so I mean, definitely color has always been one of the most important things to me. That's why I love oil paint so much. It's just because of the pigment payoff. But I've been really obsessed lately with this like Williamsburg King's Blue. King's Blue, there's like something really magical in it. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I've been super obsessed with. That's kind of why like you see so many of the blue paintings I have right now. It's really focused on like King's Blue, maybe some phthalo, you know, just bits of blue that I can find. Ultramarine is always super important. So this is like another pride and joy kind of thing.
It's a beautiful color.
Isn't it? Yeah. I really like it. So there's been like phases of my life where I've used a lot of magenta. And right now I'm in my King's Blue era.
Magenta is which one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can use this one. So technically called a violet, but I used to use a lot of, when I did acrylic paints, like quinacridone, magenta, but kind of leaning more towards this violet now that I can buy some nicer paints. So yeah.
Maybe later on you'll move to another
another
color.
That's what I love about painting, is the fact that like I don't know where I'm gonna go, where it's gonna take me. So right now I'm really in the blue phase. Maybe at some point I'll end up like liking another color more, and I'll focus on that for a bit.
What inspires you as an artist right now?
Right now, yeah, I mean, I would say it's just, I think relationships really like is a huge thing that I'm focused on, whether it's like people you just pass by on the street or people you've known your whole life. I think that's what I'm really focused on, and just like how we appear to other people, and how something that could be very simple and kind of meaningless, it has a lot of meaning to yourself, but always in like that ambiguous area.
How do you feel connecting to other artists in Chicago?
Sometimes it's scary.
That's scary?
Yeah, a little.
Why?
A little bit. I think, well, I'm still learning everything. I'm still learning what it even means to like be in the city and be like an artist here. So sometimes I get a little nervous, but mostly it's been very inspiring. And I'm always like surprised on how supportive other people are, and how much people like want to understand like what you're doing. And you know, I had like a great conversation a couple weeks ago at a show at 65 Grand with Scott Stack, and we were just talking about paints and specifically indigo, which I do have an indigo here. We were talking a lot about this indigo extra kind of color, and we were just kind of talking about how aggressive it can be and how underrated it is too. So it's like little moments like that that I feel like are really important, and I really enjoy about meeting with Chicago artists, because there's always someone who like can teach you something.
So you feel more support than competition?
Yes, yeah, a lot more support.
You mentioned that you were part of different shows in galleries in the past. So what was the one of the shows, maybe one or several, that you felt the most inspired about?
Yeah, I think I had a solo show in May this year, and it was at Cleaner Gallery, which is, you know, technically the same spot, but it's a different gallery. And it was my very first solo show, you know, pretty new out of college, and having that experience and being able to like think about yourself in that aspect of like, okay, I'm having a show that's just about my art, that kind of felt like unbelievable. And the person who, you know, I was able to select with, who brought me to that space, he was just so amazing, Ari. He was fantastic to work with, and yeah, it like gave me a lot of inspiration to just keep pushing as an artist. So yeah, I think I just got a lot more confident, to be honest with you. I think especially when you're new to an area, you can feel a little bit like lost, and you can feel like just a little bit of that like, oh man, am I doing things right? So after that, I had like a lot more energy and a lot more confidence to just keep pushing, and like I feel like since then I probably made double the amount of art that I made for that show, and I feel like I'm finally getting in a better direction. So this is kind of when I was still like really focusing on like I was more focused actually on medium at this time than the specific colors. I really love using Gamsol. So it's like paint thinner, you know? And I was like really just obsessed with like layering it as fast as I could, and kind of like staining canvases. So I'd use paints that had just the ability to stain faster, had a lot more pigment. So that's really what these two pieces have, are just a lot of just like staining. That's kind of when I was also starting to touch more on using blue. Like I hadn't really used it that much since. Like in this piece, I really didn't have any, to be honest, but yeah, I was just kind of going more and more on the light side. This is like the first piece I made with King's Blue, where I was like, oh yeah, like there's something going on here. So I really love that, and I've just been playing in this piece. It's from here, you can't even, you can't tell it's fake. I started to put a little bit more red, so I got so comfortable using King's Blue that I had to like finally step back and be like, you can use other colors now, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
That's beautiful. Is there something specific about ears?
About ear?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't
show
know. I do love ears, I guess. I like the idea of only being able to catch that amount of somebody because ears don't really say anything about someone, you know? But just the idea of someone like passing you by and that's all you can catch from them, and trying to understand who maybe they are as a person by something that's very, like, you know, it doesn't actually mean anything, you know? I do love hair. I think hair is very important to me for sure. I'm definitely very obsessed with hair because I always had short hair growing up. So I always had like a pixie cut pretty much. And then I recently grew out my hair and I just cut it again. But just the idea of growing your hair and then being able to quickly get rid of it has always been something fun for me. So I feel like everything with my art kind of stems from like a specific moment, right? When I was like 13, I started watching Twin Peaks, which is crazy to say, but I feel like since I watched that, I was able to understand a lot more about like just surrealism and what can exist in our consciousness or unconsciousness. And that's always been something I've been very, very focused on. So just trying to capture something that's the in-between of that is also a huge inspiration. So I'd say like David Lynch is a really big inspiration of mine. I love him.
What's your favorite movie of him?
My favorite movie of him? That's hard. I love Blue Velvet. Even though it scares me. I'm a little scared when I watch that one, but I do love it. I've been actually reading his like memoir right now, which has been super, super fun. So it's like gotten me back to like rethink about that time in my life when I first like was introduced to him. So I think that if you're gonna make visual art, you also should be looking at all different types of art, and definitely reading is a big one. So that's the David Lynch one. It's Room to Dream. I love that one. This one's actually really cool. It's basically it's just about the color blue and what it means, like how to see blue, and like it's a little more about like on the erotic, like sexual context of colors, which is something I'm not used to, but it's been really interesting to read his perspective on it. So I'm able to like see colors in that manner and through his lens, which has been fun. And then this is my favorite book in the world. So I do think everything in life is like focused around love, and it's not just like romantic love, it's the love you have for other people, the love you desire for others and you want. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite ones too. So I definitely think that if you're making art, you should also be reading too.
So let's talk more about gallery right now. Let's talk about Crosswalk.
Yes.
So when did you open your gallery?
So it's actually brand new. It started in August this year. Super new. We're about to have our 4th show tonight. So we've been moving at a kind of a fast pace, about 1 show a month. But yeah, started in August and we've been going on.
Why did you decide to open the gallery?
You know, honestly, like I didn't have to technically open a gallery when I took over this space, because there's studios in here too, and that's the main reason, is I wanted my studio and I wanted to keep having it. But honestly, I felt like it would just be a waste to not have it continue as a gallery. So it's never like something I necessarily thought I would do, but I was like, I guess this is the universe telling me something and I should just like shut up and listen, you know? So that's kind of why I opened it up.
What kind of artists do you want to show in your gallery and support?
Yeah, I would say for all the artists that we show here are always people that I like genuinely believe in with like my whole heart. You know, it's always been people that I see something in them and I know that they're are going to continue to grow and become better and better artists, and I just would be lucky to show them. So the artists that I want to show are people, yeah, I do genuinely have a connection with, and I really believe in what they're doing. And I know that they're putting a great name for like Chicago, and they're putting a great name for just like art making in general.
How do you balance your life between artist and a gallery owner?
Yeah, I would say the best way I could put it is I want to say that those are like 2 different versions of me, you know? Like there's artist Alexis who has her needs and her wants and what she wants out of her life, and then there's also like, you know, I own Crosswalk and I'm a gallery owner and I want to expand it, and I have to keep like nurturing both sides of that. So that way they don't get muddy and they don't get lost between them. So definitely trying to keep the two of them separate and, you know, making sure that I still focus on like my desires and my wants out of both sides of that. All the people I have planned for right now are people I've either known in the past for a couple years, or it's people I've recently met since I've moved to Chicago and I just have like a great connection with them. So it's primarily like, yeah, I'll reach out to Instagram, or people reach out to me and I just start that connection. And if I feel like it's a great fit, then we'll keep talking and we'll put on something.
And maybe advice for the person who would like to open their own gallery.
Yeah, I mean, technically anyone can open it. You know, it's not like there's like a resume you have to send out and someone has to approve you to do everything. You can just do it if you want to do it. And if you feel like you want to become a tastemaker and you want to be able to curate shows, like it doesn't matter where you're doing it or how you're doing it. You can even do it online if you want. Like you have the ability to do it at any point. There's nothing that's in the way, really.
Thank you so much, Alexis. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you for inviting us to your studio and to your gallery.
Thank you. I'm so glad you guys came.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.